Hi, I'm Aimee Cross, and today we're going to talk about ancestry trees, public or private. I want to tell you a little bit about the differences between the two trees and how to really make your tree private if that's what you want to do. So this is going to be pretty short, but let's dive in. I'm going to use two different ancestry accounts so that you can kind of see how things work out. And I'm using my dad's account and I'm using my account. So this is what we got. So my dad doesn't really have a tree. He did a DNA test for me and I have shared my tree with him. So if I click on trees right here, you'll see the family tree that I created for our family. But let's say you want to create a tree and you are looking at, what do I do? Do I make it public or private? So we're going to go ahead and create a tree. And I'm going to create a new tree right here. And I want to add more people to get more information. They make it really easy when you're doing your first tree on Ancestry. So we're going to start your tree. And I am going to, because this is my dad's tree, I'm going to go ahead and put my dad in there. And I'm just going with the basic information here. We're going to go quick for you. So he's been added. So now I haven't made a new tree on Ancestry in so long I didn't even know they did all this stuff now. This is pretty cool. So we're going to add his mom. His mom's name was Georgette Paston. So I'm going to add his father later. I'm just trying to get this tree started. So now I'm going to go to my family tree. All right, so there were a couple of things that happen when you start your first tree on Ancestry that actually I wasn't aware of because I haven't done it for so long. Because of the way I created this tree, it has that George Stevenson is still living. His only deceased person is his mom. And then all of these other people were listed as living because I just didn't take the time to put in the information. So if that's the case, and I have made my tree public, which is Ancestry's default, they will always default to making their tree public because they want to share your tree with other people. They want other people to be able to learn off of your tree and things like that. So that's their whole purpose. So I want to show you what you could find in a tree like this if I were somebody else looking at the tree. And I want to show you where you can find your tree settings. So I want you to go up here to the top to this little arrow and go down to tree settings. And the tree settings here give you the name of the tree here. You can change it. Your privacy settings and your invitations are right here. So I want to be looking at their privacy settings. So now their privacy philosophy, you can read all of that, but basically what it comes down to is that on a public tree, your information can be viewed. Nobody can change your tree, but they can view it. However, living people's information is protected. So I'm going to show you how that works. And then here you can select a private tree and some other things. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So right now, like I said, my dad's tree was set as a public tree. So if I'm somebody else and I'm looking for my dad's information, what would I find? Let's look into that. So now I'm in my account and I'm going to look for my dad's account through the member search, which is a really cool function and some people don't know about it. So you go right up here to search at the top, go down to member search. All right, so I found his account amongst all of the others. And if I click on it, you're going to see, because we're DNA related, I'm seeing a little bit different than I would see on somebody else's. So I can see here that he has a public family tree. And if I click on the tree, it says that there's 7 people, but they're all listed as private. So let me show you the differences between the two family trees. If I do this, so you can see that the names here are not shown here. Like my dad's name, George Stevenson, only says private. So wherever in your tree you have somebody that's listed as private, they will not be seen by somebody other than you or somebody that you've shared your tree with, specifically shared your tree with them. So now let's say you already have created a tree and you want to make it private. So I'm going to go back to my tree, my dad's tree. I'm in the tree that I created on my dad's account. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to go, like I said before, to this drop down arrow and go down to tree settings. We're going to go to privacy settings. And we're going to change this to a private tree. Now, if I were to search for my dad, it will be listed as private. Now, there's one little thing that I really want to note to you. If you don't want other people to find your tree in tree searches, then you want to also click this box. But note that it usually takes about a month for this update to be reflected in the search index. Now, what does that mean? That means if somebody's searching for a tree, your tree won't even show up in their search results. If I want to do a specific search for public member trees, I can click on that. And then I can put information on an individual and they would show up. Like, let me put in Georgette Paston, who was born in 1913 in California. So I'm finding a lot of trees that match this. She's found in 12 public trees. So I want to view all. Okay, so this is the Georgette Paston in my family tree. These are some other individuals that I know that have created a tree that have put her in it. But you do not see anywhere in here the Stevenson family tree that I just created under my dad's account. It's not showing up. It's also not going to show up in somebody's hints. Same reason. Now there is one place where your locked trees will still show up, and that's under your profile information. So I just did a search for John Jones because it's a common name. I figured there'd be a lot of trees. And here I have a John Jones that has 6 family trees. And you'll note here that he has 5 trees that are public. See, they have the green thing, but he has 1 that's private. That shows you the difference between a public and a private tree that somebody may have in their account. If you have interest in somebody's private tree, you can always message them and ask if they'll share the tree with you. And then it's up to them as to whether or not they will or won't. So when you're creating an ancestry tree, you need to keep these things in mind. Now I'm going to create an additional tree so that you can see how the process goes. So I'm in my dad's account again, and I'm going to click trees. Here I see my dad's tree that I just created. Here I see the tree that I shared with him that has our family information in it. And here I see create and manage trees. So I'm going to create a new tree here. And then I'm going to put information in it. I'm just going to delete this right away. So let's just say I've got John Jones, and I'm just going to call it the Jones family tree. And see, there's this little box right here that I wanted to point out to you. This box allows others to view this tree. People marked as living or hidden, like we talked about a minute ago. Now, if I unselect this, then it automatically makes the tree private. So if I unselect that and save the tree, then I've created this tree and it's private, but it's not completely private like we had talked about before, and I wanted to illustrate that. So if I go into the tree settings and I go to the privacy settings, it's not public. See, it did make it a private tree. However, it did not prevent the tree from being found in searches. And this happens to a lot of people. They do that. They think that the tree is private, but it's not completely private. So then they're going to select this to prevent it from being found in other people's searches. Now, there's one other thing that I wanted to point out to you about privacy that comes up a lot with clients, and that is the images that you upload to Ancestry. Now, if you have a public family tree, your photos are going to automatically upload publicly. And if they're in a public tree, you can't control the photographs that are in the tree. They're public. And you can see here that even if I go to edit the photograph, I don't have the opportunity to change it from public to private. Now, in contrast, if your tree is private, your photographs are also private. So here's an example of somebody that I have in a private tree, and I have this photograph. So here he is on the football team. Now, if I go into my dad's account and I do a search, all collections, and I'm going to type in this guy's name. I'm going to go down here to pictures, and you're going to see that right here, there's a private member photo of a Johnny Ashworth Thomas, which is the man in my tree. So if I click on this photograph, you don't see the photograph, but you see that the private tree contains this information and it gives you the link to click. So that's something to keep in mind. If you have a public tree, your photos are public and the other documents that you upload are public. And so you want to be careful about whether or not you put confidential information in some of those photographs, if you put living people in those photographs, because if a photograph is attached to a deceased person, but it has a living person within the photograph's going to be viewable. So those are things that you want to keep in mind when you're on Ancestry and you're building your trees. Do you want it public? Do you want it private? There's advantages to either, and it's kind of a personal preference thing. But I just wanted to clear that up because it's been a source of confusion for a lot of people. So I hope this video has helped, and you better understand now what a public and private tree on Ancestry means and what that looks like when other people are searching for it. Right over here are some other videos that may be of help to you. Please, if you click on my face right down here, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, which I would be very greatly appreciative of. I'm trying to grow my subscriber base. If you click the bell, you'll be notified of videos that are coming out. But please subscribe even if you don't click that bell. Have a great day. Thanks.